it's like there's this saying as it goes, you need to learn your role or learn your lane. I feel like my role was to elevate and fortify, the organization, and get us in a strong position to do and expand in 55 ways. So now, the next administration, I hope you get to.
Wow. That's a good sign. Or not. I talk for a living, but I am speechless. I am numb, but I am honored, and I am flattered. I am humbled by your support over the last few months. I am grateful for your vote. I did not write a speech because I was afraid it would jinx things. But there are so many people I want to thank that I won't do right now. I'll do the long list later. But at the top of the list are my opponents, Marlon Walker and Greg Lee. I want to thank you two for running a very strong campaign. Greg, I look forward to working with you in the Sports Task Force. Marlon will still be on the board. I look forward to working with you as well. And actually, to all the new board members and the returning board members, I look forward to working with all of you. I have to thank all of the chapter leaders who allowed me to bug the hell out of you and gave me time and gave all the candidates time and gracious enough to listen to my message. One of the greatest things about running for a position is an opportunity to meet so many members and to engage with you and to listen to you. And I really want to thank everyone who believed in me. And I promise that I will earn the vote, the respect of those who chose someone else. I will represent everybody. I want to make sure that I thank Sarah. It has been an honor to serve on the board with you. This woman is by far the hardest working president, member, NABJ devotee that I've ever seen in my life. And I've learned so much, and I look forward to our relationship continuing. Thank you. My campaign staff, to all those people who, and I'm not going to start naming you because it would take an hour, but to all of you, and you know who you are, who took the phone call, who made a phone call for me, who helped me with social media, who just listened to me, who held me up, who made sure that I stayed up and I did what I was supposed to do and supported me. I am forever grateful. One of the things that I would do the last couple of times when I've run is to go in my room alone. And actually, when the student project people reached out and they said, Dorothy, can we be with you that last minute? And I said no, because the last couple of times I've run, I'm alone. And I just sit in alone and I wait for the results. And I call my middle son. And that just kind of became a thing. So I'd get on the phone and I'd talk to him about his life and wait and see what happened with the phone. Well, my husband, who came in, and I knew he was coming, and I'll thank you in a minute, but that person who I always call jumped out of the closet. My son is here. Well, he was here. Where is he? There he is. Stand up. This is my middle son. Some of you know him. So that was a surprise. And then you've heard the story before, and unfortunately, you're going to have to hear it a few more times of just how poor I was when I started in this business, like so many of the young members today, and how I lived in Denver and didn't have enough money to stay in the hotel. And I bought the ticket. I used my dad's credit card, hoping he wouldn't notice. And I paid for the registration. And I got to D.C. in 1979. And I didn't have a place to stay because I couldn't afford the hotel. I have the slightest idea. Just dumb, stupid. But, I just went in a prayer, and I got to the hotel, and the executive director at the time was kind enough, after she cursed me out, and said, "How stupid can you be?" But she said, sit down and stay there. And this kind woman, public relations professional, allowed me to stay in her room. And for the first 2 years of my career, I did not make enough money to pay the rent in the car note, so I would trade off. I'd pay rent one month, and I'd pay car note the next month, and I'd just trade off. And, and you shopped at thrift stores and did what you could. So I needed my father to send me money in order for me to really be able to eat and do what I needed to do. So for 2 years, he sent me $100 a month. And then he came in. Yeah. That's my dad. That's my dad, who used to always call me when things were really rough, when I was growing up. And you're growing up in a time where people would tell you that you're too dark for this or you're too dark for that. He would always tell me that I was his chocolate baby, and I was the prettiest black baby in the world. And I am where I am today because of the support of that man. And I'm going to thank one more personal person who pretty much about 4 months ago turned to me and said, "You're going to do this?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay, I'll see you in 4 months." My husband has been my rock. We've been married 31 years, and he is my executive coach. He is the person who, when he said, "No, don't do this way," or he said, "Do this way," he was the final say. He understands what it is that I do. He understands how much I love what I do, and he has the utmost respect for me. And as he said, he didn't marry me to cook, because I don't. But he is the father of our 3 beautiful children, and he is the love of my life. That's my husband, Tony Wilkins. So, I get a chance, I understand, to actually write something tomorrow. And so I will say more thank yous to some people in this room. I'm just so afraid if I start naming names that I'm going to miss somebody. But, you guys, I love you. I love you. I love you for just, for believing in me. And to all of you, thank you. Thank you so much. I look forward to the next 2 years. I'm supposed to take questions.
There aren't.
You actually have a question? Okay, fine. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
You're going to get that a lot.
I know.
And I'm just going to put it out there. I am a print journalist. And because I'm a print journalist, and I'm walking around the job fair today, I don't see a lot of representation for what I do. And there's also been issues with people who are freelancers, people who are not necessarily broadcast, who are wondering what a Dorothy Tucker administration means for them. What have you thought about doing in terms of, because there's a certain amount of trust
Let me just say this. Watch me. I will take care of you. Watch me. Okay?
I've been adding up the numbers of votes as opposed to the number of people who voted, and they're not adding up. So I want to know, where did the rest of those votes go? If only 500 people, per se, voted for, like, say, VP for broadcast, and over 2,100 people voted, where did the rest of the votes go?
That is a good question, and I've only been on this job for a year. From what I understand, that is the number of eligible voters that will come in, and they may not cast a vote in that area, but cast a vote somewhere else. So that's where that comes from, and we do have a printed copy, and I can talk to you more about that later.
If I can follow up on that, so I just want to be clear. The 2,000 vote total number was the number of eligible voters in this election.
Correct.
Okay. How does the election committee feel that in some races, if there were 2,000 people that were eligible to vote, like 25% of the membership nationwide voted? That's not a good record turnout. Doesn't that concern you?
I'll answer personally. It's concerned me for years, you know, being on the board before and being an active member, but we need your guys' help to help us get the word out. I mean, I can't do it alone. A team can't do it alone. The board, you know, that's maybe total, you know, less than 50 of us. And look how many members we have, and we have 4,000 plus here. We need you guys to pass the word on about voting and learn more information, show up on those webinars, you know, and vote, come out to vote. Any other questions? Okay, I think that's it. I want to thank everyone and thank the team. I think I did not name two members that are not present, Don Roberts and Robin Washington. I don't know if I said them earlier. But thank you, everyone, for attending this evening. Thank you for the last 8 months. And I guess we're going to start up again and do it again in about 5 months. And Dorothy, don't go far. And congratulations, everybody.
Oh, well, that's why I want to get the breakdown.
I can give you.
The First Amendment did not pass. It has to be a 2/3 majority.
We asked that sitting in there, did it pass?
It did not. It has to be a 2/3 majority. The second one passed, but the first one did not. Shrinking the board did not pass.
Okay, I mean, if you want to, but, I mean, okay. Yeah.
Marlon, you're right about that 2/3 majority. I went and the Constitution says that. So the first one failed. The second one passed, but the first one failed. Okay, we got. Hey, folk, listen up. Listen up. The amendment to shrink the board failed. It has to have a 2/3 majority. The amendment to shrink the board